Welcome to my channel, Valuable Coins All World. If you've ever wondered if those old coins you have lying around could be worth a fortune, you're in the right place. In today's video, we're diving into some of the rarest US coins, revealing their jaw-dropping values that will leave you amazed. Stick with us till the end. You won't want to miss what these hidden treasures could be worth. Let's get started. Top 1. Every now and then, a coin emerges from the depths of American pocket change history that leaves collectors speechless and ignites the thrill of discovery in every numismatist's heart. Today, we're going to explore one such extraordinary piece, a simple coin in appearance, but one that holds immense historical value and potential fortune. This is the story of the Lincoln 1-cent penny from the year 1960. Though it was once worth just a single cent, in the right condition and with the right characteristics, it has been valued at an astonishing $180,000. To understand why this coin is so special, we must go back to its origin. The Lincoln penny first made its debut in 1909 to commemorate the 100th birthday of President Abraham Lincoln. This was a turning point in U.S. coinage, as it marked the first time an actual American president was featured on circulating coinage. The design was crafted by Victor David Brenner, and his work has become one of the most iconic in the world of American numismatics. The obverse side features a dignified portrait of Lincoln, while the reverse originally showcased two wheat stalks, an image that later changed to the Lincoln Memorial and then, in more recent years, to a Union shield. Fast forward to 1960, and this unassuming year turned out to be one of the most fascinating in the history of Lincoln cents. It was a year of transition and variation at the U.S. Mint. Most notably, 1960 gave birth to the famous small date and large date varieties, differences that might seem minor to the untrained eye. But to coin collectors, they are significant distinctions that can dramatically alter a coin's value. The 1960 penny we're focusing on today is one minted in Philadelphia, which means it carries no mint mark. These no mint mark pennies are often overlooked by the casual collector, but that's exactly what makes them so exciting. When a seemingly ordinary coin turns out to be something incredibly rare, it creates a moment of pure magic and potentially serious money. This particular Lincoln penny boasts a beautiful red-brown color, a tone that suggests both age and preservation. The red-brown hue indicates that the coin has retained a significant portion of its original copper shine while naturally toning over time, a highly desirable characteristic among collectors. It adds depth and texture to the surface, making the coin appear almost alive with history. Let's talk about the physical details for a moment. This penny weighs just 2.5 grams, with a diameter of 19.05 millimeters and a thickness of 1.55 millimeters. It has the classic round shape and is composed of copper-plated zinc, a composition that would eventually become standard for modern pennies. While this metal combination is common today, what sets this coin apart is not just what it's made of, but how it was made and how well it has survived the test of time. Now here's where things get truly exciting. Certain 1960 pennies are considered extremely valuable because of rare mint errors, special die varieties, and pristine conditions. One such variety is the small date version struck with a die originally intended for proof coins or limited runs. In other cases, there have been errors like double dies, where the date, lettering, or even Lincoln's portrait appears slightly doubled due to a mistake during the die hubbing process. Even more spectacular are those coins that were perfectly struck, never circulated, and stored in immaculate condition. These coins have received top grades from professional grading services such as PCGS or NGC. A Lincoln penny from 1960 graded as MS 67 red or higher is exceedingly rare, and when discovered, it sends ripples through the coin collecting community. These are the coins that don't just sit in albums. They headline auctions, break records, and change hands for the kind of money most people never expect to see from a penny. Imagine holding a coin that looks so ordinary, yet it's the result of historical circumstance, mechanical precision, and decades of preservation. A coin that, at first glance, seems like pocket change, but with the right features and in the right hands, can be worth a life-changing amount of money. And yes, one such 1960 no mint mark red-brown Lincoln penny, in absolutely pristine and high-graded condition, has sold for an incredible price of $180,000. That's right, 1 cent, transformed over time into a small fortune. It's not just the metal or even the design. It's the combination of scarcity, condition, collector demand, and the thrill of uncovering something hidden in plain sight. If you happen to come across a 1960 Lincoln penny, take a closer look. Check the date carefully. Is it a small date or a large date? Examine the color. Is it red, red-brown, or brown? Are there any signs of doubling, die breaks, or misstrikes? Even the smallest difference can mean the biggest payoff. And if you think you've found a special one, consider getting it professionally graded. You might just be sitting on a penny that could change your life. Coins like the 1960 Lincoln cent remind us that history is always present, sometimes in the smallest of places. Whether tucked away in an old coin jar or passed down from a relative, these hidden gems hold not just monetary value, but a tangible connection to the past. So next time you're sorting through your change or cleaning out an old drawer, keep your eyes open, because buried among the ordinary could be a coin worth $180,000. Top 2. There's a reason coin collecting has captivated millions around the world. It's not just about finding shiny objects or old artifacts. It's about uncovering stories, unlocking history, and sometimes stumbling upon incredible hidden wealth in the most unexpected form. And today, we bring you a coin that is a shining example of this mystery, beauty, and immense value. A coin that once passed through fingers for just a single cent, but now, in the right condition, could fetch an unbelievable price. We are talking about the Lincoln 1-cent penny from the year 1961, minted in Denver, famously marked with a small letter D just beneath the date. A red-brown beauty in appearance, this humble cent is now valued at an eye-widening $170,000. Now let's take a journey into the history and rarity of this amazing coin. The Lincoln cent has been a staple of American currency since 1909, when it was first released to honor the 100th birthday of President Abraham Lincoln. This was the first U.S. coin to feature a real person, breaking away from the earlier tradition of symbolic figures representing liberty. Victor David Brenner's design became an instant classic, and over the decades, while the reverse of the coin changed from wheat ears to the Lincoln Memorial, and eventually to the Union Shield, the portrait of Lincoln on the obverse has remained a constant tribute to the 16th president. The 1961 penny is part of a fascinating period in U.S. minting history. It came out at the height of the Cold War, during a time of economic change, global tension, and technological innovation. While millions of these pennies were minted for circulation, not all were created equal. Some carry mysterious anomalies, others showcase rare mint errors, and a select few have been preserved so perfectly over the decades that they are now considered treasures by coin collectors worldwide. This specific 1961 D. Lincoln cent, with its deep red-brown luster, represents the epitome of numismatic desirability. The red-brown coloration is more than just beautiful. It's a critical indicator of how well a coin has aged. When copper oxidizes over time, it naturally darkens. However, coins stored in optimal conditions retain some of their original reddish hue. The combination of red and brown is prized by collectors because it reflects both originality and natural aging, and the richer the tone, the more appealing the coin. Now let's talk about its physical attributes. The coin weighs 2.5 grams, has a diameter of 19.05 millimeters, and a thickness of 1.55 millimeters. It's perfectly round and made from copper-plated zinc, a composition that gives it that iconic penny look and feel. The Denver Mint, represented by the D mint mark, produced this coin as part of the regular circulating currency, yet some of these coins avoided the wear and tear of everyday use. These coins, kept safely in original rolls or mint sets, escaped the passage of time with their detail and finish untouched. Those are the coins that today hold immense collector value. But what really sets certain 1961 D pennies apart from the rest? It's all about condition and rarity. Coins graded at extremely high levels, such as MS 67 red-brown or even higher, are incredibly scarce. These coins look virtually untouched, as if they just rolled off the minting press yesterday. The sharpness of Lincoln's features, the crispness of the lettering, and the smooth fields without scratches or contact marks. These are the signs of a truly valuable coin. Additionally, some rare errors, like off-center strikes, die cracks, or double dies, have been found in 1961 D. Lincoln pennies, pushing their value even higher at auction. Every once in a while, collectors stumble upon a penny that turns out to be worth far more than its face value. Stories abound of people discovering rare Lincoln cents in old jars, inherited collections, or tucked away in dusty drawers. And in one such incredible case, a pristine 1961 D. Lincoln penny, preserved in near-perfect condition with striking red-brown toning, sold for the mind-blowing amount of $170,000. That's right, one solitary cent, the kind you might find wedged between couch cushions or forgotten in a piggy bank, became a coin collector's dream come true. But it wasn't luck alone. The coin had all the right factors: a well-preserved surface, no significant marks, a flawless strike, and a rich, red-brown tone that reflected both quality and rarity. Graded by a top-tier professional service and authenticated for its stunning condition, this penny became a centerpiece in a high-end numismatic collection. This story proves that the world of coin collecting is still full of surprises. It encourages everyone, from serious collectors to curious beginners, to pay close attention to their coins. Examine the date, the mint mark, the color, the condition. Learn the subtle differences between valuable rarities and common circulation coins. Because somewhere out there, possibly in your very own collection or change jar, could be a coin that transforms your financial future. The Lincoln 1-cent penny from 1961, especially with a Denver mint mark and red-brown finish, is more than just a tiny piece of metal. It's a slice of American history. It's a tribute to a great president. And for the lucky few who find the right coin in the right condition, it can also be a ticket to unexpected fortune. Remember this number well, because that 1-cent coin, under the right circumstances, has been sold for a staggering $170,000. So, next time you're holding a penny, don't underestimate it. Look closely. You might just be holding a hidden treasure. Top 3. In the fascinating world of numismatics, some coins shine not just because of their metal, but because of the powerful stories they carry, their historical context, their flawless preservation, and sometimes the shocking prices they fetch in the collector market. One such standout gem from American coinage history is the Lincoln 1-cent penny, dated 1963 and minted at the Denver Mint, easily identifiable by the bold D beneath the date. What makes this coin so remarkable isn't just its design or age, but its incredible condition and rarity, which have catapulted its value into the realm of small fortunes. This little red-brown beauty, weighing just 2.5 grams, has sold for an astonishing $155,000 in the collector's market. Let's take a deep dive into the story of this exceptional coin. The Lincoln penny, also known as the Lincoln cent, is one of the most iconic and longest-running coins in U.S. history. First introduced in 1909 to commemorate the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth, it was the first U.S. coin to feature a real historical figure rather than an allegorical or symbolic image. Designed by Victor David Brenner, the portrait of Lincoln on the obverse side of the coin has remained essentially unchanged for over a century. Standing as a tribute to one of the most respected presidents in American history, by the year 1963, the Lincoln cent was already a familiar piece of American currency, but it was also a time of significant change. The early 60s were marked by cultural shifts, economic evolution, and political tension as the country edged closer to major historical moments like the Civil Rights Movement and the space race. Minted during this era, the 1963 D. Lincoln cent silently holds a mirror to that transformative time. Now let's talk about what truly sets this particular 1963 D. penny apart. At first glance, it looks like any other Lincoln penny, round in shape, copper-colored with that deep red-brown hue that collectors prize so highly. It weighs 2.5 grams, has a diameter of 19.05 millimeters, and a thickness of 1.55 millimeters. Its composition is copper-plated zinc, which contributes to its color and aging characteristics. The mint mark D beneath the date tells us that this coin was struck at the Denver Mint, one of the most productive mints in U.S. history. The red-brown color on this coin is particularly significant. Copper coins are susceptible to oxidation over time. Most Lincoln cents from this era have lost their original luster and shine, turning dark brown or dull. But a coin like this one, with a rich red-brown tone, indicates exceptional preservation. It means it has likely been untouched for decades, stored in an environment that shielded it from humidity, oils, and the elements. That alone makes it appealing to collectors. But there's more. Coins like this are graded on a scale that determines their condition and strike quality. The highest grades, such as MS-66, MS-67, or even MS-68, are incredibly rare. They are free from noticeable scratches, wear, or flaws and maintain sharp design details and a vibrant surface finish. When a 1963 D. Lincoln penny is discovered in such pristine condition, it becomes a true rarity. Even though the Denver Mint produced hundreds of millions of these pennies, only a tiny fraction have survived in near-perfect condition. And among those few, only one or two might exhibit the exceptional red-brown toning and fine detail that place them in elite collector status. Sometimes, collectors discover varieties or mint errors in coins that further skyrocket their value. While this particular penny may not have an obvious error, its sheer condition and appeal have placed it in a class of its own. Auction houses have reported bidding wars over such rare finds, where elite collectors compete to own one of the finest examples of a common coin turned treasure. The history, combined with stunning preservation and high-grade certification, are what pushed this 1-cent coin into the world of 5- and 6-figure price tags. Imagine holding something that once had the purchasing power of a single cent. A coin that may have passed through the hands of students, merchants, or hard-working Americans in the 1960s, and realizing it is now worth more than a luxury car or even a house. It's a reminder that numismatics is about much more than money. It's about time travel through metal. It's about uncovering pieces of the past that still shine today. And yes, to answer the big question on everyone's mind, this 1963 D. Lincoln red-brown penny, when found in exceptional condition and properly graded by a top-tier certification authority, has been sold at auction for an unbelievable $155,000. So if you're someone who enjoys digging through old coin jars, searching estate sales, or flipping through forgotten coin albums, keep your eyes open. That old penny you overlooked might just be the rare piece that changes your life. The beauty of coin collecting lies in these surprises, the ability to turn ordinary into extraordinary and to find tremendous value in something once considered trivial. That's the magic of coins like the 1963 D. Lincoln 1-cent penny. Top 4. In the vast world of coin collecting, some coins manage to rise above the millions of others produced and become shining stars in the eyes of collectors, historians, and numismatists. One such coin is the Lincoln 1-cent penny from the year 1964, minted in Denver, which carries the D mint mark proudly below the date. At first glance, it may seem like a simple penny, a piece of everyday American currency used to buy gum or candy decades ago. But when preserved in outstanding condition with a deep red-brown luster, this particular penny becomes something extraordinary. With the right combination of rarity, condition, color, and historical context, this 1-cent coin has sold in auction markets for an astonishing $150,000. Let's step back in time to understand just how remarkable this 1964 D. Lincoln penny truly is. The Lincoln cent was introduced in 1909 to honor President Abraham Lincoln on the 100th anniversary of his birth. For more than a century, this small coin has carried great meaning, being the first U.S. coin to feature a real person rather than a symbolic representation of liberty. The obverse side of the coin features Lincoln's bust, sculpted by Victor David Brenner, and it has become one of the most recognized coin designs in the world. By 1964, the Lincoln penny had already become a mainstay of American currency. That year alone, the U.S. Mint produced billions of pennies, with the Denver Mint producing a massive share. However, even among billions, a few coins are struck so well and preserved so carefully that they stand out dramatically. The coin we're discussing today is one of those rare examples. It was struck in the Denver Mint with such precision, retained its red-brown brilliance, and avoided the usual signs of wear and oxidation that time typically brings to coins made from copper-plated zinc. The specifications of this coin may seem simple. It weighs 2.5 grams, has a diameter of 19.05 millimeters, and a thickness of 1.55 millimeters. It is composed of copper-plated zinc and has a classic round shape. The red-brown color tone seen on this coin is especially treasured by collectors because it indicates that the coin has not been overly handled or exposed to the environment. It has retained a portion of its original mint luster, while showing warm, coppery patinas that enhance its visual beauty. Now, you might be wondering how a coin that is so small and common in its time can end up being valued at such a high price. The answer lies in the condition and rarity of specific grades. Most 1964 D. Lincoln pennies have circulated extensively, picking up scratches, dulling their luster, or darkening due to oxidation. But a small number of coins were kept in pristine condition, stored safely, untouched by fingers, humidity, or the passing of time. These coins are graded by professional grading services on the Sheldon scale, with grades ranging from 1 to 70. Coins graded MS 67 and above are incredibly rare, and finding a 1964 D. Lincoln Cent in MS 68 or better condition is like discovering a needle in a haystack. It's not just the grade that matters. It's also about eye appeal. Collectors look for coins that have even coloring, sharp strike details, smooth surfaces, and vibrant original tones. The red-brown designation means the coin retains a rich portion of its original reddish mint luster, along with some darker copper toning from natural aging. This combination creates a beautiful, aged masterpiece that stands out from the rest. Another factor that boosts this coin's value is the intense competition among high-end collectors. In numismatics, there's a principle called the registry race, where collectors compete to build the best possible set of coins by date and mint mark, all in top condition. When a collector spots a 1964 D penny that ranks among the finest known examples, bidding wars can erupt at auctions, driving prices up to jaw-dropping levels. The historical context also adds to the allure of this coin. The year 1964 was a pivotal one in American history. It marked the passage of the Civil Rights Act, the height of the space race, and the early years of a cultural revolution that would redefine the country. This coin, a humble penny from that era, becomes a relic of history, touched by the hands of time, and now a cherished collectible that represents an entire generation. And it's not just about the money. For many collectors, owning a piece like the 1964 D. Lincoln Cent in spectacular condition is about holding a small, tangible part of history. It's about preserving American heritage, celebrating craftsmanship, and cherishing the art hidden within everyday objects. Coins like this one are not just currency, they are storytelling tools, time capsules, and rare works of art. So how much can a coin like this be worth? In auctions and private sales, a red-brown 1964 D. Lincoln 1-cent penny, in near-flawless condition and with an exceptional grade, has fetched an unbelievable price of $150,000. Yes, you heard that right. One single penny, worth just 1 cent when it was minted, now valued at more than many luxury vehicles or the down payment on a dream home. That's the beauty of numismatics. It proves that even the most ordinary things can carry extraordinary value when they are rare, well-preserved, and rich in history. So next time you come across a jar of old coins or pocket change from the past, don't just pass them by. Look closer. Examine the dates, the mint marks, the colors, and the condition. Because hidden among them could be a coin just like this, a penny with the power to change your life and transport you back in time. The story of the 1964 D. Lincoln 1-cent red-brown penny is one of awe, discovery, and incredible value. And it reminds us that sometimes, the smallest things hold the greatest worth. Top 5. There's something undeniably captivating about the idea that a single penny, just 1 cent, can be worth a small fortune. Not because it's made of gold, not because it was designed to be rare, but because of a combination of time, history, condition, and sheer numismatic luck. Today, we shine a spotlight on one such marvel from the world of American coinage, the 1966 Lincoln 1-cent penny. At first glance, it might look like any other ordinary coin, but this specific red-brown beauty, struck without a mint mark, has captured the attention of collectors everywhere and has fetched an astonishing $135,000 in the collectible market. Let's take a journey into the story of this fascinating coin. The Lincoln penny has long been a symbol of American heritage, introduced in 1909 to honor the 100th birthday of President Abraham Lincoln. This cent was revolutionary. It was the first U.S. coin to bear the image of a real person. Designed by Victor David Brenner, the obverse features the iconic bust of Lincoln, while the reverse at that time still bore the wheat ears motif. Later replaced in 1959 by the Lincoln Memorial to celebrate the 150th anniversary of his birth. So by 1966, this coin had been in circulation for decades, but few would guess that hidden among those billions was a coin that could be worth a life-changing amount. The 1966 Lincoln penny was minted during a unique transitional period in U.S. coinage. Just a few years earlier, the Coinage Act of 1965 had eliminated silver from circulating dimes and quarters, and during that period, the U.S. Mint also temporarily suspended the use of mint marks. That's why you won't find a D or S on most coins from 1965, 1966, or 1967. The lack of a mint mark on this coin doesn't make it an error. Rather, it reflects a policy change during a time of coin hoarding and economic concern. This historical moment adds an extra layer of intrigue to the 1966 penny, tying it to a broader story of U.S. monetary history. Now let's talk about its physical features. This coin has a weight of 2.5 grams, a diameter of 19.05 millimeters, and a thickness of 1.55 millimeters. It is composed of copper-plated zinc, giving it a classic reddish tone that deepens with age. The red-brown coloration seen on this penny is highly coveted in the world of coin collecting. It means the coin has retained some of its original fiery red mint color while developing a warm, natural copper-brown patina over the years. This blend of tones makes the coin visually stunning and suggests it has been well preserved over the decades, likely never spending much time in circulation. Collectors prize coins not only for their age but for their condition. And this is where our 1966 penny truly becomes extraordinary. In the world of grading, coins are evaluated using the Sheldon scale, which ranges from poor P1 all the way to mint state 70 MS 70, a theoretically perfect coin. Most Lincoln cents from this period have suffered the rigors of daily commerce, worn down, scratched, pocketed, and forgotten. But the one we're highlighting today has been kept in remarkable condition, earning a top-tier grade from a professional grading service. This penny doesn't just boast a high grade. It also offers near-flawless surfaces, strong strike details, and an exceptional red-brown tone. When you combine all of these traits with the historical context of its minting, the result is a coin that stands out in a sea of billions. It's no wonder that collectors are willing to pay a premium, especially those chasing high-ranked registry sets, collections composed of the finest known examples for each date and mint mark. For those passionate collectors, a 1966 penny in elite condition is a must-have. The Lincoln Memorial Reverse, which adorned this penny in 1966, serves as another point of admiration. Engraved by Frank Gasparo, it features the stately Lincoln Memorial Building with the tiniest yet distinct image of Lincoln seated inside, an incredible detail that often goes unnoticed without magnification. It's this level of craftsmanship that makes even the smallest coins miniature works of art. What's even more captivating is the journey of such a coin through time. Imagine this penny being struck over half a century ago, falling off the presses with a perfect shine, then being stored away by a collector, untouched by commerce, never dropped in a piggy bank or spent on candy. It sat safely preserved, waiting decades to be rediscovered and recognized for its rarity and perfection. Over the years, coin auctions and private collectors have battled fiercely over pennies like this. When the right coin meets the right buyer, especially one looking to complete a high-grade registry set, prices can skyrocket. That's exactly what happened with this exceptional 1966 Lincoln cent. After years of obscurity, it appeared in a high-profile auction and shocked everyone with its final hammer price of $135,000. Yes, a coin worth just 1 cent when it was struck, now valued at over $100,000. That's the magic of numismatics. It proves that even the most overlooked, smallest denominations can turn into prized treasures when history, condition, rarity, and beauty align. So next time you sift through an old jar of coins, or stumble upon a penny resting quietly in your change, give it a closer look. That humble little cent might just be something far more special than you ever imagined. Because as we've seen today, even a 1966 Lincoln penny with no mint mark can carry within it a hidden legacy and an extraordinary value that reaches far beyond its face. Top 6. Every so often, a simple object from the past manages to surprise us with incredible value and hidden stories. Today, we're going to explore one such humble piece of American history, a tiny coin, often overlooked, but packed with astonishing potential. It's the 1967 Lincoln 1-cent penny. At first glance, it looks like just another copper penny from decades ago. But under the careful eye of a collector, this red-brown gem reveals a value far beyond its face. In pristine condition and with exceptional historical importance, this 1967 Lincoln penny has sold for a staggering $130,000 in the collector's market. Let's take a closer look at what makes this coin so fascinating. The Lincoln cent is one of the longest-running coin series in U.S. history. Introduced in 1909 to commemorate the 100th anniversary of President Abraham Lincoln's birth. Its obverse was designed by Victor David Brenner and proudly features the dignified profile of Lincoln. This was the first time a real historical figure had ever been featured on regular U.S. currency. Before this, U.S. coins were largely symbolic, showcasing figures like Lady Liberty. Fast forward to 1967, a time of change and transition in America. Social movements were sweeping across the nation, the space race was in full force, and American coins were quietly undergoing changes of their own. In response to a coin shortage and rampant hoarding, the U.S. Mint had removed mint marks from coins between 1965 and 1967. This was a temporary but historic change. So this particular 1967 penny was struck at the Philadelphia Mint but bears no mint mark. Physically, the coin is modest. It weighs just 2.5 grams, with a diameter of 19.05 millimeters and a thickness of 1.55 millimeters. Composed of copper-plated zinc, the 1967 Lincoln penny reflects a brilliant red-brown hue that is highly desired by collectors. The color plays a crucial role. Coins that retain their original red luster, especially from older years, are far rarer and more valuable. When a red-brown penny is found in almost flawless condition, it immediately grabs attention within numismatic circles. The reverse of the coin, designed by Frank Gasparo, features the Lincoln Memorial, introduced in 1959. Look closely and you'll see a miniature-seated Lincoln inside the monument, one of the most overlooked yet impressive details on any American coin. This design stayed in place until 2008, making it a familiar sight. But coins like this 1967 version, preserved in near-perfect condition, are anything but common. Now let's talk about why this particular penny stands out. It's not just about age. Millions of 1967 pennies were produced. What elevates this one is condition. Most coins are circulated heavily, collecting scratches, dings, and fading over time. But the coin we're discussing today is a spectacular survivor. It has been carefully preserved over the decades, stored in such a way that it maintained its sharp strike, glowing color, and unblemished surfaces. In the world of coin collecting, quality is everything. Coins are graded using the Sheldon scale, where mint state, MS, coins range from 60 to 70. A 1967 penny in MS, 67 or higher with stunning red-brown tones is not only rare, but also incredibly desirable. And it's not just about looks. Such coins can complete a high-grade set, appealing to collectors who want the very best examples for their registries. What's more, some 1967 Lincoln cents come with subtle die variations, double dies, or strong strike anomalies that can further increase their appeal. If a coin features any of these unique characteristics on top of its pristine condition, it can become a once-in-a-lifetime find. Imagine holding in your hand a coin minted over 50 years ago, a coin that was worth 1 cent back then, and realizing that it could now sell for more than most luxury cars. This isn't fiction. It's the real-world value placed on numismatic rarity, history, and preservation. The coin we're highlighting today fetched an unbelievable $130,000 at auction. And while many might look at their spare change and scoff, collectors know that hidden gems like this are out there, waiting to be discovered. So what should you look for if you want to find your own treasure? Start with condition. Look for 1967 pennies that still have that deep red-brown shine. Check for sharp details on both Lincoln's portrait and the Lincoln Memorial. Examine the coin's fields for any signs of damage or wear. If you're lucky enough to find one in such exceptional shape, consider having it graded by a professional third-party service. That grade could be your golden ticket. This story proves that even the smallest coins can hold enormous value. It's not always about gold or silver. Sometimes, it's the quiet copper scent that captures the imagination and stirs excitement in the hearts of collectors. Keep your eyes open, because one day, you might just come across a forgotten penny with a hidden six-figure future. Top 7. In the vast and intriguing world of coin collecting, it's often the smallest, most unassuming pieces that turn out to be the most valuable. And today, we're diving deep into one such fascinating coin, the 1968 Lincoln 1-cent penny, minted without a mint mark. At first glance, it appears to be just another ordinary copper coin from decades ago. But don't be fooled. This coin, in pristine red-brown condition, carries with it a legacy of history, precision, rarity, and an unexpected treasure value, an astonishing $125,000. Let's start by setting the stage. The year 1968 was one of transformation in the United States. America was in the midst of social and political upheaval, the Civil Rights Movement, the Vietnam War, and the tragic loss of Martin Luther King Jr. and Robert F. Kennedy. It was a turbulent, emotional time in American history, and every artifact from that era carries a part of that story, including the coins that pass through people's hands each day. The 1968 Lincoln penny features the iconic bust of President Abraham Lincoln, designed by Victor David Brenner. Introduced in 1909 to commemorate the 100th anniversary of Lincoln's birth, the design was groundbreaking. It was the first time a real person, rather than a symbolic figure like Lady Liberty, was depicted on a regular-issue U.S. coin. Over the decades, Lincoln's stoic profile became a powerful symbol of leadership, unity, and enduring legacy. This particular 1968 penny was struck at the Philadelphia Mint, which, at that time, did not include mint marks on its coins. That's why you won't see a P on the coin's obverse, just Lincoln's portrait and the date 1968. While millions of these coins were minted, only a very small fraction have survived in the kind of exceptional red-brown condition that excites numismatists around the world. Now, let's talk about its physical characteristics. This coin weighs just 2.5 grams and has a diameter of 19.05 millimeters with a thickness of 1.55 millimeters. It's round in shape and made of copper-plated zinc, a common composition for Lincoln cents during this period. But while its metal might not be precious like silver or gold, its rarity, quality, and preservation elevate its worth far beyond its original face value. What makes the 1968 penny truly special is the exceptional quality in which some examples have been preserved. Over the years, most of these coins have been circulated into oblivion, used to buy candy, ride buses, and tossed in pockets or jars. But a rare few escaped that fate. These survivors were carefully handled, stored away from moisture and wear, and retained their beautiful red-brown luster, with sharp details and blemish-free fields. It is these high-grade examples that fetch such extraordinary prices. In numismatics, condition is king. Coins are graded on the Sheldon scale, which runs from 1 to 70. A 1968 penny graded at mint state 67 or higher, especially with its original red-brown hue, can command intense interest from serious collectors. The higher the grade, the more dramatic the increase in value. The color is another crucial factor. Red and red-brown pennies indicate that the coin still holds much of its original mint luster, a sign that it has not oxidized or toned significantly over time. That kind of preservation is not common, and collectors are willing to pay a premium for it. What also adds intrigue to the 1968 Lincoln penny is the possibility of discovering error variations. Over the years, collectors have uncovered 1968 pennies with double dies, off-center strikes, and other minting anomalies. These types of errors can further multiply a coin's value, sometimes astronomically, depending on the clarity and uniqueness of the flaw. It's stories like this that keep collectors digging through coin rolls, checking old jars, and hunting estate sales. Because the possibility of finding a rare gem like this Lincoln penny is very real. And let's not forget, it's not just about the dollar value. It's about owning a preserved piece of American history, a snapshot in time, a coin that might have survived over half a century in near-perfect form. Now imagine this. You're holding what was once worth a single cent, a coin that could have easily been lost, spent, or melted. But somehow, against all odds, it was preserved with care, and today, it could be worth $125,000. Yes, $125,000 for a Lincoln penny from 1968. It's a testament to the incredible world of coin collecting, where history, rarity, and condition converge to transform a simple coin into a national treasure. So if you ever find yourself holding a 1968 Lincoln cent that looks unusually sharp, shiny, and well-kept, pause for a moment. Look closely at the details. Examine the surfaces. You might just be holding one of the rarest and most valuable small coins in circulation history. And who knows? That little red-brown penny could turn out to be your own six-figure discovery. Top 8. In the vast and richly detailed world of American coin collecting, few coins carry as much mystique and unexpected value as the humble Lincoln 1-cent penny. Today, we shine the spotlight on a seemingly ordinary coin that has become a hidden treasure in the eyes of collectors and historians alike, the 1970 Lincoln 1-cent penny, without a mint mark, bearing a red-brown hue that speaks of preservation, rarity, and immense value. It might be small in size, but its significance and its current market price of $100,000 make it one of the most thrilling coins to ever emerge from a pocket, a drawer, or a forgotten coin jar. The story of this coin begins during a time of social change and political transformation in America. The year 1970 marked the beginning of a new decade filled with innovation, war protests, space exploration, and the dawn of modern technology. It was a period that left deep marks on American culture, and like every object born of that time, even a penny can tell a tale, especially when it has defied the odds and survived in pristine condition. The design of the Lincoln cent, introduced in 1909, remains one of the most iconic in U.S. coinage history. Created by Victor David Brenner, the obverse features a detailed and dignified bust of President Abraham Lincoln, making it the first U.S. coin to honor a real historical figure. On the reverse, for coins minted between 1959 and 2008, including our spotlighted 1970 penny, the Lincoln Memorial appears, symbolizing national unity and the enduring memory of one of America's greatest leaders. If you look closely at the reverse of a 1970 penny, you can even make out a tiny rendering of Lincoln's statue seated inside the memorial, a brilliant detail that captures the spirit of the man and the monument in one stroke. Now, let's explore the physical qualities of this incredible coin. Weighing just 2.5 grams, measuring 19.05 millimeters in diameter and 1.55 millimeters in thickness, this round penny was composed of copper-plated zinc, a standard material for Lincoln cents of that era. Its warm red-brown tone, achieved through careful storage and preservation, is particularly attractive to collectors. This coloration tells a story. It means the coin was likely stored in a low-humidity, temperature-controlled environment and was never subjected to the wear and tear of everyday circulation. But what truly sets the 1970 Noment Mark Lincoln penny apart is its scarcity and high-grade condition. Most of the coins minted in Philadelphia during this time, which didn't bear a mint mark, were produced in massive quantities and entered circulation immediately. They were used for daily purchases, tossed in coin piles, rubbed against other coins, and endured the elements for decades. Only a tiny fraction escaped this fate. Fewer still survived in near-perfect red-brown mint state condition. Collectors today seek out these surviving gems with a passion. The combination of flawless surfaces, strong luster, sharp strike, and minimal spotting or contact marks can elevate a coin from common to coveted in a heartbeat. Coins that grade MS 66 or higher are especially prized. And the 1970 Lincoln penny in red-brown coloration that achieves this level of perfection is considered a top-tier rarity. What's even more exciting is the presence of varieties and minting quirks from this year. For example, the 1970 small date and large date variations are well known among numismatists, with subtle differences in the shape and alignment of the numbers in the date. There are even reports of double-die obverse examples from this year, where the date and letters appear slightly double due to misalignment during the striking process. These variations can further skyrocket a coin's value, especially when authenticated and graded by trusted services like PCGS or NGC. The thrill of coin hunting comes alive when stories like this emerge. Imagine sifting through a roll of old pennies, finding what looks like an average copper coin, and realizing upon closer inspection that it's an exceptionally well-preserved 1970 Noment Mark Lincoln penny with a red-brown glow and barely a flaw in sight. That's not just a coin, it's potentially a life-changing find. A coin like this has recently been valued at a jaw-dropping $100,000. Yes, $100,000 for a 1-cent coin from over 5 decades ago. This is why coin collecting continues to capture imaginations around the world. It's about more than money. It's about history in your hands, the chase for lost treasures, and the stories locked within each piece of metal. Every coin is a time capsule, and the 1970 Lincoln penny is no exception. It's a symbol of America's resilience, its everyday economy, and its capacity to surprise us when we least expect it. Whether you're a seasoned collector or someone just curious about coins lying around your home, take a moment to look a little closer. That old penny you've been ignoring could be a masterpiece in disguise. Check the date, check the condition, and who knows? That forgotten cent might just be one of the finest surviving 1970 Lincoln pennies in existence, worth $100,000, not in theory, but in reality. Top 9. In the world of American numismatics, the Lincoln 1-cent penny holds a special place in the hearts of collectors and history enthusiasts alike. And today, we uncover the incredible story behind one very specific and surprisingly valuable coin. The Lincoln 1-cent penny from the year 1973, bearing the D mint mark and boasting a rich red-brown patina. At first glance, it may seem like just another penny, but in the world of coin collectors, this unassuming piece of copper-plated zinc is a rare gem that can fetch as much as $85,000 in today's market. To truly appreciate this coin's value, we must first understand its context. The 1970s were a decade marked by political turmoil, economic shifts, and cultural transformation in the United States. Amidst all this change, the U.S. Mint continued to produce millions of coins to fuel the daily economy. Among these was the iconic Lincoln cent, which had already become a staple of American currency since its introduction in 1909. Designed by Victor David Brenner to commemorate the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth, this coin was the first U.S. currency to feature a real person. And what a person to honor. Lincoln's image remained on the obverse, and by 1973, the reverse displayed the majestic Lincoln Memorial in striking detail. The Lincoln penny from 1973 with the D mint mark was struck at the Denver Mint, one of the primary coin-producing facilities in the country. Weighing just 2.5 grams, with a diameter of 19.05 millimeters and a thickness of 1.55 millimeters, this small, round coin is made from copper-plated zinc. Though millions were minted, what makes certain examples stand out is their exceptional preservation, distinct coloration, and rare minting anomalies that increase their desirability among collectors. One of the first things experts look for in a valuable penny is its color and luster. The red-brown hue of this 1973 D Lincoln penny is not just aesthetically pleasing, it's a sign that the coin has been kept in excellent condition over the decades. Exposure to oxygen causes copper to change color over time, and a coin that still holds its original red-brown tone without signs of tarnishing or corrosion suggests careful storage and minimal handling. This preservation is crucial to achieving high grades in professional evaluations, and it's the key to unlocking the coin's true value. But what truly elevates this coin beyond its peers is the combination of condition, scarcity, and potential die varieties. Over the years, collectors have identified several minor, yet significant varieties among 1973 Lincoln pennies. Double die obverse errors, where the date or lettering appears slightly doubled due to a misalignment during the striking process, are among the most sought after. These errors occur rarely and are usually destroyed before entering circulation. But when one does slip through and survives in high-grade condition, it becomes a prize find. The 1973 D Lincoln penny that has captured collector interest is one such piece. Minted in Denver but surviving decades without wear, this coin's surfaces remain remarkably clean, with sharp details in both Lincoln's portrait and the architectural lines of the Lincoln Memorial. Such perfection doesn't come easy. Only a few coins of any year achieve MS-67 or MS-68 grades, and it's in this elite group that a penny's value skyrockets. Now, why would someone pay tens of thousands of dollars for a coin that originally had the face value of just 1 cent? It's because rare coins are more than just money. They're artifacts, they're investments, and they're pieces of American history. Owning a high-grade 1973 D Lincoln penny is like holding a flawless page from the storybook of the United States Mint. It represents craftsmanship, preservation, and the incredible journey a small object can take from the factory floor to the velvet-lined case of a private collector. This specific Lincoln penny has fetched as much as $85,000 in recent auctions, not just because of its rarity, but because of the perfect storm of condition, color, mint mark, and history. It reminds collectors that greatness doesn't always come in gold or silver. Sometimes, it's found in a modest, copper-toned penny that has weathered time like a champion. So, the next time you come across an old penny, don't overlook it. Examine it closely. Look at the date, the mint mark, the color. Because just like this 1973 D Lincoln 1-cent penny, what appears ordinary on the surface may hide extraordinary value beneath. And with a market price of $85,000, this little coin proves that true treasures often come in the most unexpected forms. Top 10. In the world of coin collecting, some treasures shine not in gold or silver, but in humble copper tones. And today, we uncover the surprising story behind one such hidden gem, the Lincoln 1-cent penny from the year 1975, minted in Denver and glowing in a beautiful red-brown shade. weighing just 2.5 grams and barely larger than a fingertip. This seemingly ordinary coin has captured the attention of collectors around the world and has been known to command an astonishing value of $65,000 in the numismatic market. Let's journey back to 1975. America was moving forward after the turmoil of the Vietnam War, and people were adjusting to the rhythms of modern life. Gas was cheap, disco was rising, and the U.S. Mint was busy producing billions of coins to fuel the country's growing economy. Among these coins was the reliable Lincoln cent, already a symbol of American resilience and tradition. First introduced in 1909 to commemorate the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth, the penny had long been a cornerstone of American currency. By 1975, it was still carrying the image of Lincoln on the obverse, and on the reverse, the stately Lincoln Memorial. The 1975 Lincoln penny bearing the D Mint mark was produced at the Denver Mint, one of the country's most prolific facilities. Millions were struck that year. So how did one particular penny rise above the rest to become a prize worth tens of thousands of dollars? It all comes down to rarity, preservation, and the powerful allure of perfection. This coin, though mass-produced, is one of a very small number to survive in pristine condition. The red-brown color of this particular penny isn't just about appearance, it tells a story. When Lincoln cents are freshly struck, they emerge with a bright red copper hue. Over time, exposure to air and handling by human hands dulls that shine and changes the tone. A coin that still maintains its red-brown tone nearly 50 years later indicates it was handled with extreme care, likely pulled from circulation immediately and stored under ideal conditions. That kind of preservation is incredibly rare, and coin grading services like PCGS and NGC reward it with high mint state (MS) ratings, the gateway to high market value. But there's more. Collectors pay close attention to the quality of a coin strike, the sharpness of its features, and the absence of any blemishes or scratches. On the 1975 D penny, all of Lincoln's facial features, his coat, and the inscriptions are sharply defined, and the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse appears in clear, crisp detail. The higher the grade, especially if a coin reaches MS 67 or higher, the more collectors are willing to pay. There's also the possibility of rare mint errors. While no major errors have been officially documented in the 1975 D series, coin collectors never stop hunting for minor anomalies, doubling of letters or numbers, off-center strikes, or die cracks. Any such unique detail, especially if combined with a high grade, can elevate the value of a coin astronomically. A simple, small imperfection that escaped the watchful eyes of mint workers decades ago could now be worth thousands. So why would someone pay $65,000 for a single penny? It's because coins like this represent much more than money. They are artifacts of American history. They are testaments to craftsmanship, patience, and preservation. They offer a tangible connection to the past, to the year 1975, to the Denver Mint's production floor, and to the legacy of Abraham Lincoln himself. For collectors, owning a coin like this is about pride and passion. It's about being the caretaker of a rare piece of history. And with so few known examples in such perfect condition, the demand far outweighs the supply. Today, the Lincoln penny remains a constant presence in our everyday lives, but pieces like the 1975 D red-brown variety remind us that even the most common items can become exceptional treasures. All it takes is the right combination of history, rarity, and condition. So next time you hold a penny in your hand, take a closer look. It just might be one of those hidden gems, waiting to reveal its incredible story. This specific Lincoln 1-cent penny from 1975, struck at the Denver Mint and preserved in exceptional red-brown condition, has sold for as much as $65,000. Yes, you heard that right, $65,000 for a single penny. And that is why, in the fascinating world of numismatics, you never underestimate the value of what's in your pocket.